The goddess is every bit as good as God, and you can ask any Taoist or Confucianist, and they will tell you that yin and yang are equal, but they both devolve from something that is infinitely superior. And that thing that is infinitely superior, the oneness, that's the source of all giving and the source of endless love from which all things are created. And that's the number one, complete and total acceptance. The leadership that comes from being first, not pushing other people out of the way or crushing and destroying things, but simply being the first thing. So everything is about the same competition, the same physics problem. We're looking at opposing forces and how do those forces interact. If you consider all the legends and mythology and the stories told by every religion, they all have common themes. Like, for example, in every culture around the world, there's a myth of surviving a flood. The Chinese have a savior, a Jesus type, a Messiah type, whose name, Nu Wa, is almost identical to the name of Noah, and the pictogram actually looks like a boat. A really dorky, like super deep arc-like boat. Now, does that say that the Ten Commandments were stolen from the law code of Hammurabi, like any anti-Semitic so-called scholar will tell you? No, it doesn't mean that at all. What it means is that all of these stories have been passed down through oral tradition and, as Noah pointed out, eventually, just recently, written down. All of those stories came from the same place. And whether or not there was some great, tremendous physical flood on this planet really has nothing to do with with the extremely remote concept that they're trying to get across to you, which is the idea of the universe of water, the form of the symmetrical tree, which, if you want to go and compare the measurements of that tree, you'll find the correct proportions of a pyramid in there, and you'll also find the exact shape of the arc, so many cubits high and so many cubits wide. And there's a reason for that, because that story came from this symbol and the knowledge attached to this symbol. The sequence of numbers, what we call numbers, these giant, vast, unimaginable concepts which were created by God the Father, that's why they come from the red universe, these numbers are the mechanism by which everything is built. So maybe the third thing that anyone should ever understand is what the numbers are and how they work. 1 through 9, it's a process of manifesting things, building things, creating things. It's a process that works from the top down, with the number 1 being first. And you can see that in a straight line, like the chakras in your body, or the picture of the 9 worlds from Viking mythology that's up on my page. Or you can see that in the 3-dimensional version, which is what the Tree of Life is trying to show you. The 10 Sephira, and there are 2 hidden Sephira.
Sorry, can you explain what Sephira are? I know some people...
Sure. Yeah. Sephira is the word that means emanation. At least that's what I was told. I'm not a native speaker of Ivrit, so I can't say, but everyone seems to agree that the word Sephira or Sephiroth means an emanation, which is the same thing as chakra means a flower of light, and core lung means a wheel of fire or a spinning nexus. They're trying to describe a point of energy from which a specific frequency is radiating out. The sun has a center and it burns. It radiates energy to its own limit of symmetry, to the point where gravity and electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces, balance out, and that's as big as the sun can be. It's based on how much fuel it has and how old it is.